Alright, welcome everyone. We're Semblance of Sanity. I'm Caleb.
I'm Jacob.
And we're here for
Great Teacher Onizuka, episode 25.
Okay.
We had that amazing episode with the
Yes.
vice principal.
Vice principal and his daughter and family and all that. That was just
Ah.
amazing. It was also really like kind of sweet and goofy to have Onizuka being so helpful to someone that has
Antagonized
hated him
non-stop.
hated him for so long.
Mm-hmm.
And now might actually see some small good in him.
And I can just picture the vice principal being like, maybe Onizuka isn't quite so bad. No. Yeah, right. I'm allergic to that kind of thinking.
But yeah, looking forward to what the next kind of antics will be with Onizuka. So
Yes.
yeah, without further ado, let's get into it. Look, he's all depressed, and then he just comes through. He's like, yeah.
Yeah. Easy laugh, easy come,
Easy go. He's like, a woman. She needs help. My time has come.
Because I'm lonely.
Lonely. I just love this line. That person is the only one who can make my heart hot. Love me. Kiss me, kiss me. Nobody knows what means love song. Do you know how love song goes on?
That's my favorite part.
That's also really good. Oh.
Wow.
Wow.
Right there with them.
Wow. Oh. A bachelor.
Yeah.
私今日から聖林学園のちなみに3サイズは
Ah!
3つ今後ともよろしくね
He's trying to get the best angle down here.
この学校で教師やってて弟して忠告しておきますがあの男にだけは近づかん方が身のため
Ah,
です
he's
よ
back to.
He keeps looking down.
Yep.
バイキングですからね格好は少しばかり派手というか刺激的すぎやしません
Is
か
she
そう
wearing
で
a
すか
bra?
しかし君い
No bra. No bra.
Yeah.
お嫌いですかこういうの
や嫌いというわけじゃないがな
Someone punch me now!
村井の母ちゃんと
Good competition!
俺の母ちゃんなんて
Oh! Oh! He admits it! He admits it!
いやそれが熱は50度ぐらいなんだ座りもひどくて食欲ないし
Morning sickness.
すごく顔色もいいし
He just flips the switch and
Instantly,
suddenly
like, made his complexion, like, deathly gaunt, you know?
あれは
新しいパンツに履き替え朝シャンもしてきたしあとは保健室でナオちゃんと大人のお医者さんごっこってがてめえらこんなとこで何やってんだ
What do you think they're doing there?
俺たち腹の調子悪くってさ嘘つけお前らも首使ってナオちゃ
You
んと
too. Wow, outing yourself, Onizuka.
分かってるんだよお前らも
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah!
いや
何の俗をまとめ上げるなんて大したものよ
結構詳しいっすね
いやちょっとねそれよりコーヒーでもいかが、ケーキ
Hmm.
もあるしみんなで仲良く
The transition, everyone's like, get it! Get it!
みんな 学園のオアシス保健室にいつでも遊びに来てよね。
Oh my
待ってるから
god.
ね。何よあれ、バカじゃない。あ、ごめんなさい。
Yeah.
大丈夫？はい、すみません。
バンザー
Ah!
さあ次の店へ行こうぜ次
もうフラフラじゃねえかよ。お前だけは天下太平だな。
Two very different conversations right
Yeah, I
there.
know,
こ
right?
れでいいことでもあったんじゃない？例えば魅力的な保健の先生が赴任してきたとか。
ああじゃあやきもち焼いてるんだいや参っちゃったねこりゃ
違います。鬼塚先生はどうでもいいけど、私が心配してるのは授業をサボって保健室に入り
It is
浸っ
kind of
て
an
る
issue.
生徒たちのことよ。
いくら女に見えてるからっていつまでもちょろちょろしてっとしまいにはマジで振り付けたり
Yep.
嫌われちまう
This
ぞ。
guy, he speaks the truth. Oh! Yamero! Oh. Yeah, what's her secret?
Connected to gangs?
Connected to gangs or mafia or something and
その代わりつけはお断り。いつもニコニコ元気。
Oh.
先生方には内緒よ。
Wow.
Gotcha.
なおちゃ
全部運んでくれたら君たちにはご褒美としてこの筋肉もりもりスーパーダイナマイトプロテインと幸運を呼ぶ黄金の招き猫グッズを3割引きで大サービスしとくわ。
Uh,
あなたた
Dang.
ち
so she's hawking all kinds of
ちょっ
stuff
と
within the school.
別に
なんでもないです。
保健室で商売
ええ、おまけに調べてみたらどれも怪しい商品ばかりなんです。
Okay.
な
Okay.
のに男子ばかりか女子まですっかりカデナス先生の言いなりって感じで。
Dang.
怪しい商品なんすか
They brought up the economy
Oh,
earlier, remember?
he's bought a crap ton
Oh,
of
he has! Yes!
せっかく相談に来たのに。
Huh?
それってみんな鬼塚先生も
いやそりゃ笛月ちゃんそうバカにしたもんじゃ
I love how every culture has its own types of superstition,
Uh-huh.
and they all sound silly to everyone else's, but it's all the same thing. It's all superstition. It's just really funny how like people still like buy into it and stuff. Because they mentioned the economy earlier, how
They did.
and also teachers don't make a lot of money, right?
冬月先生今日に告げ口したいならどうぞご自由に。でも冬月先生って同僚チクるような
Oh,
人
she's
じゃ
going for this angle.
Mm-hmm.
あの仕事も見かけほど
She
儲
in
かんない
debt,
の
maybe?
よ。生徒相手に小銭稼いでるばかりじゃないのよ。もっとも近頃の子供はそこらの大人より金持ちだけど
Yeah.
Yep, that's true.
冬
That's very
月
true.
先生もボランティアで教師やってるわけじゃないでしょ。どんな理由があろうとお金儲けのために生徒を利用しないでください。
That's the real point.
生徒たちがかわい
Yep,
そう
it's
で
not
す。
fair to
あな
them.
たみ
Yep.
たいな先生今までいた学校にもたくさんいたの
Oh,
に
you get bounced around to a
建
lot of
前
other
ばかり
schools
で
because
頭でっかちな先生がどう私と賭けをしない賭け
that what?
なんすかその賭けって
今度の模試で村井くんたちに学年50番以内を取らせてみせるってカデの先生が
で賭けの額は
10万円
Whoa! Whoa!
もちろん断ったけど、
Oh, okay.
どうして10万楽勝で手に入るんだぜ笑いの野郎たちなんて奇跡だなんか取れっかねえんだから担任の俺が保証する
I guarantee that. That's
その
amazing.
代わりに賭けに乗るぜ
I'll front you the money.
50万以内
頑張っ
Motivation.
て50番以内取ったらデートしてあげるわよ大人の女知りたくないかな
Oh, they're motivated now.
Yeah, but she's
Oh.
not gonna last long.
うるさい静かにしろ勉強できるんじゃねえか
Oh my god, this is amazing. Her methods are, but in a way that's kind of like Onizuka, you know, he does like really questionable things to make the results happen, you know.
夜は高級クラブに勤めてるお前んとこの風変わりな保健の先生吉祥寺じゃなくてあれは
ああじゃあ飯おかわり大盛りで
Pay
ね
attention, Onizuka.
Yeah, but
Dang
of
it.
course he's not going to. Power of the boner is strong indeed.
Oh yeah. When a guy has the oh my god, there's a crazy amount of things that can yeah. Dang. So they did pretty well.
助かった。
They did pretty well,
脅
though.
かさないでくださいよ、冬月先生。よーし、10万ゲット。
でも村井くんたちいつもとは比べ物にならない
That's true.
点数取ってるんですよ、ねえ村井くんたちカデナ先生にどうやって勉強教えてもらったの？
ダウって俺たちマ
Oh,
ジで
they're so disappointed.
ああ菊池にテストの傾向とか対策とか教えてもらってさ
Oh, Kikuchi's smart, so he gave him
Yeah,
some
yeah.
good tips, probably.
拍手しやがれ。この野郎。本当だってなおちゃん
Oh,
が
he's gonna
50
tell.
万以内に入ったら大人の女その教えてくれるってだから何
なんですって？
なんでお前だけそんな
Ah!
いやお前たちの
Onizuka's like, ah, now I
Yeah, Onizuka's like,
understand.
why not me?
もう許せないだかってスケベなのは中学生もハゲ頭の中年親父も同じようなものなのよ生徒たちとクラブのお客さんを一緒にしないでくださいあなたみたいな世間知らずのアマちゃん先生
Oh, no, you did
つ
not.
いからかってみたくなっ
You
て
did not.
あごめん鬼塚先生とかけてたのよねはい10万円
マジじゃなくてもしこいつらが50番以内に入ってたら大人の付き合いをしたのか本当に
がっかりだわあなたまで聖職者ずらしてお説教するつもり
あげんじゃねえよ何が魔法だただの騙しやねえか
Unforgivable.
俺の生徒を騙すやつは許さねえこの金返すからもう一遍初めっから賭けをやり直そうぜお前ら今度こそ死ぬ気で勉強して50番以内に入ってみろやなおちゃんとの大人の付き合いをしてえな
Wait.
よ
You just gave the money
さ
back
っ
to
きの言
Onizuka.
葉訂正しておくわあんたってやっぱそこらの先生とは違
Well,
う
yes.
さすが湘南を制した元鬼爆だよね
They just stared at each other menacingly.
Yeah.
くそ
俺たちが湘南で構想にやって
There
く
it
れた頃
is.
な
There it is.
時だよ箱スカの女王ってのを見たのは走り屋仲間からは一目も二目も置かれるまさに女王的存在
Dang.
後で聞いた話によるとその箱スカの女王が名もない走り屋との勝負に負けて事故ったのがきっかけで仲間内じゃその敗北が信じられず
But her legend lives
未
on.
だにちょっとした謎になってるらしい
Okay.
So we're back into a multi-episode arc.
Yeah. With
Huh.
another, like, crazy girl. Like,
So, is this gonna be something where Onizuka will beat her at a street race?
I mean,
And
yeah.
and that's how he'll like be like, "Get lost, get out of my turf." This is my
I don't
turf.
think he'll necessarily tell her to get lost. He could, but I think if anything, she'll then respect what he basically determines to be right for the students.
Sure.
And then
'Cause-
based on
yeah.
that, it'll be what Onizuka, I would say, demands of her. They could make it like a bet, you know.
Because the thing is, they're not going to resolve it the obvious way of just
What's
handing
the
it off
obvious
to the
way?
principal.
Oh,
You know,
that
like,
obvious way.
you know,
I thought you meant
like-
obvious for GTO. I'm like,
Yeah.
wait, what's the obvious way? Because
The obvious GTO way of resolving it. No. Yeah, the obvious way is they just say, Urumi Kanzaki, destroy her. And she's just like, okay, so... Clearly this is all driven from an inferiority complex because based in the... You know.
I think Arumi would just be like, hey, you're really cute. And she'd be like, yeah. And be like, she's boring. And it just kind of moves on.
Or maybe Urumi would, like, make bets with her. And she'd just make bets. She'd figure out how to make bets that she would just always win.
I mean, possibly. But it's kind of the thing of like, oh, you're cute, but you're boring because I understand your whole game.
Sure.
And there's
You're
nothing...
too simple.
You're too
Yeah.
simple, yeah. And then just
Yeah.
moves on. That would be great.
All right.
Wow. I mean...
Okay. We have a new player.
We have a new player,
Mhm.
and holy crap, they basically just went, yeah, so we have cute model girl, but no, now we have like a mature, full, like, model girl. where
Yeah.
It's
Like-
like wow. Wow.
Yeah, trying to get people to do better with sexual favors. Is this Evangelion? Although this might have actually come out before the Ava movies. I don't know. But
maybe,
yeah. But
but holy crap.
all right. Okay.
This is this is something that I would say is kind of par for the course for Onizuka, except for the fact of the business stuff, which I find to actually be really kind of interesting here. Because what I think we can look about this here is that she likes the power dynamic, basically, thing.
Right.
Where she's winning, essentially. This is a form of racing for her.
Yes.
And it's not actually about the money. You know, it's just about...
Right, it's just about beating other people.
Beating other people, yeah. Exactly.
Uh-huh.
At some kind of game. And she introduces...
And now she's doing the game of money. Yeah.
She's doing the game of money, yes.
Which is kind of unfortunate because, like, okay, when Chapter 7 Bankruptcy was introduced in Hunter x Hunter, awesome, loved it, right? Anytime money gets brought up as, like, the game of money in a show, I'm just like, ooh, yes, awesome, cool.
Now, that's not the way it has to be, though. There are other ways this can be looked at.
Yes.
The other way is actually that she's in a lot of trouble because she lost a street race.
Sure,
she might have made a bet on herself in the street race.
That's true.
And she might be in an exorbitant amount of debt.
Right, to a loan shark, and she's like,
no, just to the other person.
Sure, yeah.
Like all it needs to be, and this is how you could make her way more redeemed. Like, it's basically that she's desperate.
Right.
She uses her sex appeal. She uses every tool she has in her arsenal to get money as fast as possible because she's got people after her.
Right.
And this is something where I think actually her seeing Onizuka and being kind of zeroing in on him, and she goes, oh, wait a minute. This guy's a gang person. He might understand my story, and if push came to shove, and if people came after me, this guy might actually, I could use him to protect me and help me out.
Sure.
All right. Yeah. So I think you could totally go for I like having dominion over people. That works too. You can do both of these as well. But I like even more the debt option, because at the end you see how Onizuka could help her, because he could like double or nothing the bet and win the street race and have it all come back to her and stuff like that.
Right, exactly.
And then he doesn't have to street race her. He could like street race with her in like the co-pilot seat or the passenger seat, and they end up like, you know, doing this together or something like this, and they beat whoever, you know, or something.
Right. And then that would one of the ways that they could up the stakes is then it's like, well, okay, she owes me money, but if you want to bet again for double or nothing, well, who's going to have the other half of the double?
Right.
You know, and then Onizuka will have to probably put that on himself. And he would actually do it because he's stupid.
Because he is stupid.
But he's Onizuka, so, you know, he'll still end up winning in the end.
Yeah, I think that there's a completely different dynamic here with Arumi Kanzaki, where Arumi comes in and there's all these legendary things built up about her from the get-go. Whereas her, we end up finding out about her notoriety and her persona and all that through the old gang connections. But that's something that we haven't brought up with Onizuka
hardly ever.
Really since the one time the girl got kidnapped, the footlicker, and he had to, you know, basically utilize his gang knowledge skills to
well,
you know, that whole thing there.
He had he rallied his gang for how he dealt with Arumi.
Was that Arumi?
Yeah. Well, with when they all showed up as the.
That's right. Yeah, you're right.
But that was, you know, right. So, but how I think that's a really good way that they could handle it if it is the debt angle.
It ties in with the economy thing that they
it
brought
does.
up.
It does, absolutely.
And Fuyutsuki understands are you desperate for money? Like, she's trying to find an empathic way to connect with her and be like, I get it. If you're desperate for money, that's totally fine. Like, I'll buy some stuff from you, but you don't need to, you know, hawk it onto the students.
Right.
I thought that was a cool connection there. Fuyutsuki really showing her courage and being like, no, this isn't okay.
Right.
But, yeah.
Yeah, and it just goes to show that Fuyutsuki is not good with handling conflict as well.
Yeah.
Like
especially, like, once it gets to, like, tier 2 or tier 3, because it starts to go into, like, other things where Nao Chen started using arguments that were kind of trying to pigeonhole Fuyutsuki into the wrong conflict, basically diverting things off into another thing, like, you're just one of those teachers. And,
right, exactly,
but oh my god, they really went all in on the guys angle of I see something sexy and I just you know.
And even down to the point of, hey, you get in the top 50 and I'll show you.
You get in the robot Shinji and you know.
That's right. Yep. Yeah.
Oh man.
Wow.
Oh man.
Wow. And then Onizuka was just upset that he didn't get some sort of deal like that. I almost would have expected him to be like, hey, I'll have you know that I
got in the top.
I got #1 place in the national exam, you know.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah. But there is potentially something more here with the whole teacher angle. Why is it that she dislikes teachers so much? Because remember how she's like, "Oh, you're just like all those holier than thou teachers."
So I think the reasoning for that is pretty straightforward. Is that they clamped down on her activities, you know,
at the other schools that she worked at.
Exactly. Yeah.
Gotcha.
Yeah. It could be that she didn't like how they looked down on her, possibly, but I think the main thing is just that they wouldn't let her keep doing what she was doing, and hence why she isn't there anymore.
Right. But then how did she get hired here? Is she just really
how did
good
Onizuka get hired here? You know.
Like, oh, that's a good point.
I mean, that was something specifically from the principal, but
I guess maybe there could be. I mean, hey, maybe she did some favors for the interviewer. I mean, maybe she's used to that. I don't know.
Or the vice principal was just like, oh no, the vice principal.
No, the vice principal hadn't.
Yeah, he was the one that let her keep wearing all the different kinds of outfits she was wearing at the school.
Maybe it is the chairwoman and the chairman, or basically she put on the "I'm a professional business, like I am all business teacher" when she did the interview, and when she showed up, she's now already like working her her magic, if you will.
Yeah.
That little thing was really funny because I think there are a lot of guys out there that tricked themselves out there into believing that they would, you know, get an opportunity with the girl if they did XYZ, and then ended up doing the most ridiculously stupid things or like nearly like impossible things just because the power of boners is that strong. Like,
I mean, we saw with Kanzaki when she was at the laundromat and she got Onizuka to literally strip down and put on all sorts of things.
Yep.
Like,
it's really funny. It's the whole lift with your knees, not with your back, but instead it's think with your brain and not with your dick.
I thought you were gonna say lift with your dick, and I was like, I mean, but
then the whole angle with them having like some kind of weird, you know, pills and like creams and all this kinds of stuff.
I thought it was something where she was actually going to start selling like drugs.
I thought it might have been. Well, you know, it is drugs essentially.
Yeah, I mean, like.
It's just not necessarily illegal drugs. They're just they're more like, you know, sketchy like health products essentially.
Right,
like,
and a lot of those don't actually have to be classified as, you know, drugs necessarily.
Right.
But it's still just like a bunch of crap that she can get people to buy for way more than they should be buying it for, and that they would not otherwise be buying.
Yeah, she's still happy to sell it half off, which means it's
she's
pretty heavily marked up. Just let's
exactly.
say that for sure. Yeah, she's winning just by making sales.
Yeah.
Which is kind of interesting. Like, if you had someone that let's throw the whole teacher student thing out of the equation. If she was at a regular workplace, she was at a pretty low entry position, so there was no potential for kind of nepotism, you know, just basically her utilizing her authority position within the company. And she was selling additional things within the company and stuff. I'm pretty sure the head people would have a problem with that. But on some level, I see some parts of it that's kind of okay. Like, it doesn't seem to be something that would cross into too many boundaries because everyone's adults, right? Like, people make their own decisions, and, you know, she's not forcing anyone to do anything. But in this case, it's because of the power dynamic of them being young kids.
Well, and also just the fact that you don't, like, you're already at a place of business essentially with the school, even though, you know, it's a school, so it's different. But you don't run a business at your job. Like, you don't. But
some people do.
But the thing is, you don't do that. Like, I don't know what things are like in Japan, but there would be issues if, you know, in America at least, if you were at a place of work and you suddenly started selling stuff out of your office, like,
totally. That
wouldn't fly.
I just know that at workplaces that I've been at, basically the main thing is that as long as you're not doing this kinds of stuff on campus, like there's no transaction of money there, you can
do
sell whatever you want. The thing about it is that they don't want anything that conflicts with the actual interests of the company,
right?
In terms of time expenditure, money expenditure or in terms of like maybe direct competition.
Yeah.
The equivalent would be like if you were selling Apple products at Microsoft.
Well, or even
You know?
yeah. Well, there's that too, but also just the idea of because while you're on the clock, you're representing that company to say be telling someone like, hey, when we're off the clock, you know, let me sell you this stuff. That's something where you're not
But I'd say that's not illegal. That is something that's dealt with companies on a case-by-case basis.
Yeah,
So I have seen smaller instances of this where I've worked at retail and stuff, and people will get verbal agreements about selling someone something while on the clock doing this, and corporate, if they knew, probably wouldn't care. They would just be like, yeah, please don't make it a habit of doing that. They wouldn't have some like hard rule.
Yeah.
So it's something that I find interesting, that she is probably so desperate to sell, to make money, to get money, that she's doing it to like the most easily impressionable people on the planet, that she could probably get away with this by maybe extorting or manipulating the other staff at a school, which I find to be extremely immature of her, or something that shows just how desperate she is. And I like to go with the desperate angle because it leads
that makes it a bit more interesting. Yeah,
it leads to more ways that they can have her character get extra dimension by Onizuka's involvement.
And we don't mean extra dimension.
And my measurements are a secret. I was like, and
the way the way when she was talking to Onizuka, she stayed like bending over, you know? Yeah. I
was like, wow, all right. Like I'm not gonna lie, I was like, wow, they really just decided, let's have everything, you know, go exactly to proportion. And she was tall too. Like, what the heck?
But the main thing is like it was out, you know, it was
almost comical.
It was into the realm where it was comical, where it's like, wow, okay, so are those bowling balls or just, you know, cantaloupes? Like,
I mean, if you think there's no, like, you know, plastic or silicone in those, like, you know,
no, she's got a reinforced titanium frame for her back, you know, just so that her spine doesn't snap. Yeah,
I mean, she's tall, so her back's probably relative.
Sure, but yeah,
or that's probably like the thing, is that like when we saw the girl, like, you know, almost like push her over the stairs, it looked like. Like, did that not seem like the girl was gonna come behind and be like, oh no, I pushed you over? Like, that's some, like...
Also, speaking of which, with those girls, so wasn't sure whether it was like, so there were a few things running through my head.
Yes,
whether
I
it was
understand.
Whether it was like forced representation kind of a thing, and basically they didn't know how to actually like draw people of different skin colors, because there were like rings around their eyes and everything.
Yeah.
Or whether it was supposed to be
they were wearing like some extension, like full body mask.
Like some kind of like skin products, you know, because they brought that up. But then later they show up and their skin color's different, and she specifically says, "You guys look so different today." It's like,
yeah,
okay.
Yeah. Now they were called the Black Stars, apparently.
Right. So maybe that was something that they did as like that was.
No, I think that was their original skin product that they were using, and they switched to.
And they developed a brand at school by, you know, they're the Black Stars. They're the people that, you know, do that.
Yeah, it seemed a little bit like.
But I was like,
I didn't want to comment on it because it just kind of weirded me out.
Yeah, like maybe it's just a fad thing that they picked up or whatever, but
yeah. I basically was like the Grinch, and I'm like, I'm not gonna touch that with a 39.5-foot pole, you know. Like, all right, moving on. This episode is our first one in a while of doing a multi-episode arc, though. So that's something that I'm especially excited for, because Onizuka, you never know how he's gonna solve the problem. Like, you know he's gonna solve the problem, but you never know how. And with this one, I think it's going to end in some street racing antics.
And that would be...
And that's in the space before riding on the streets and the donuts sit down to go.
We totally know the lyrics. Yeah, we're on point with this.
On my feet, it's so hard to try to be me. Whoa. Yeah. Deja vu. So we're looking forward to that. And that'll be pretty fun.
Because he did mention Initial D, like, earlier in the show.
That's true.
So, like... Just saying.
All right.
Just saying.
That'd be pretty cool.
Yeah.
But yeah. All right, everyone. If you want to watch the next episode's reaction right now, go check out the link in the description below for our Patreon. You can get an early access there. You can watch full-length reaction there, and all this comes with Discord access, so you can chat with us about stories or just whatever. And Jacob's gonna promote something here real quick.
Yes, my sci-fi novel Battle Lines is available for pre-orders right now.
Yep.
So check the pinned comment down below in the doobly-doo or the link to the Kickstarter so you can claim your copy, because it's pretty amazing and you should definitely read it.
Yeah. All right, so if any of that interests you, we'll see you there. But until then, we're Semblance of Sanity. I'm Caleb.
I'm Jacob.
And we'll see you all next time.